Val Aerozone. It's a project is to rejuvenate the Vaal region, Vereeniging, Bijl Park. That was the industrial hub of South Africa, and especially Gauteng, for a very long time. And those big corporates have moved away, Sasol, ArcelorMittal, but there's still a large community and population that resides there, and it's a beautiful part of the country. So we've put some money in already through Citibank, the American listed banking institution. We've committed 1.375 billion. That money's gone in, and we're now looking for the next 15-20 billion to get the project really on top of the ground.
What kind of airport you say it's going to be linked to a cargo, or you're going to specialize in cargo, or you'll also do passengers?
Yeah, so both. We think that Gauteng, and of course our Tambo spending 20 billion increase in capacity at that airport. There is still a requirement for more capacity, especially on the cargo side and even on the passenger side, into really the gateway into Africa. So at our first, in phase one, which is 2032, we think, that sounds like a long time away, but it actually happens quickly because we break ground now in 3 years' time, is we think we'll be getting 7.5 or 7.2 million passengers just on the passenger side. On the cargo side, 150,000 tons that we'll be getting through there annually. And this is backed up by some of the commitments we've already got from OEMs and airlines.
And this, do you have a partnership? Is it a public-private partnership?
Yes, good question. So we are partnering with national government at the one level. So Citi was required as part of the EIP program through DTI to invest this number that I mentioned, roughly about 1.5 billion, into a project that was decided upon by government and Citi. And that was the area that we felt would catalyze the redevelopment and the industrialization of that particular area, the Vaal River and the Citibank region. So it's a public-private partnership. The plan is to create a Vaal special economic zone so that we can attract private sector into the airport city, agro-processing and industrial development.
And have the domestic investors been activated, and what is their response?
Yeah, so we still in the approval phases with, I mean, a lot of the stuff we've already got, like EIAs and the various municipal approvals, and we've got the backing from the provincial bodies and the municipal bodies. So the IM, or the investment memorandum for local investors, is going to be going out probably in the next 5 to 6 months. But we want to establish the Vaal SEZ first, because then, and obviously get the airport licensing. And we think then it will be a more bankable project for local and international investors. But that's 6 to 12 months away.
And I believe you guys are going to be creating an entire city.
Yeah.
Tell us through, what do you imagine?
Yeah, so 2 projects come to mind. So the Roslyn hub, around automotive is one that people can think in terms of thinking about what we're going to do. That's one such project. If you look at the Durban Trade Port, what's happened around that airport. If you look at Kocha, what we're planning to do is essentially bring all of that into the Vaal area. We've got a railway siding on the property. We've got a longer runway than our Tambo, so which means you can land bigger cargo planes. But also what the railway does is it allows export into the continent much easier. It allows produce to come into an airport precinct via rail, and it will open up obviously the southwestern part of the country. So Gauteng is a big metropole, and this will just aid obviously the provinces and the national growth.
In this Gauteng investment conference, what are you hoping to achieve?
Yeah, so get more buy-in from provincial government and national government from the start. We have had buy-in, obviously, because these agreements were signed with provincial government, with the Minister Patel. So it has been getting some airtime in these various conferences. The municipality is behind us, but of course we, to put in all the bulk, there are contributions that are very typical of these projects that the municipality and government would make. So it's to drum up support from the province and from the public sector, but certainly private sector I think is going to take up on the project.
2032, as you said, it can come very quickly. What are the bottlenecks you're dealing with that are slowing you down?
Yeah, so we'd like to break ground 2028, but for that to happen, you need sewage connections, you need commitments around electricity, around water, so if one goes to the site now, there's a lot of dust, earth is being moved, but you have to systematically and process-wise kind of tick off various things before you can start on certain parts of the project. So we do need provincial government and the municipality to just assist us with getting through those approvals. And there have been some, but we're hoping that because we've got the will of national government, we can fast track. But of course, getting the Vaal SEZ is a key starting point, and that's been a bit slower than I think we'd like.
And in attracting other international investors, are you speaking to any BRICS countries?
Yeah, so the Middle East, especially Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, Qatar have been, they've been making acquisitions in the aerospace. They've been, for example, there was a 30% acquisition or 50% acquisition of Airlink by Qatar Airways, if I'm not mistaken. The airport in Addis Ababa is being expanded with money from the Middle East. So there is keen interest from that part of the world to invest in logistics hubs and obviously the whole airport terminals and what that brings for commerce. So we're quite confident we'll get that international money, but of course infrastructure spend is necessary in this country, and so not only are we appealing to government, but we'll also be appealing to large pension funds. PIC comes to mind, and the various corporate infrastructure capital to rally behind the project.
Dr. Zuko, all the luck, and I hope the hard work will pay off. But yeah, thank you for joining us at BRICS Africa channel.
Much appreciated.